Hello and good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's good to see so many of you on time today. And here for the releases, we're doing a B session after quite some time. But I believe that it's one of those things wherein everyone has at least got an opportunity to release something that has been brewing. Now we've been streamlining whatever everyone has sent us, whatever inputs have come in, and I truly hope that each of you that requested the shifts and that requested the releases are at least present today in the session and can make the most of it. Now, a lot of people actually have spoken about wanting to heal trauma in different manners. You all have asked for trauma that was there during pregnancy, trauma that is there after, trauma that is affecting you now as far as you are interacting with your kids or in your relationships. The reason we're not going to directly deal with trauma today, we will be dealing with trauma because I actually took a print of all the issues that y'all have mentioned. And everything is so interrelated, even though it has different faces to it. Trauma, of course, becomes something that your body begins to hold, whether it is of an illness that you've had, whether it's of a relationship that's toxic that you've been in, whether it is of, having them you've learned through your experience. The trauma still gets held in your body. Trauma is held in our body as a way of our body to protect us from future harm. That is the reason every illness as well that your body has been through, it stores a certain element of it to remind you, to keep you from that pain next time. So we actually have a happiness habit module that is on releasing trauma. We named it releasing childhood trauma until we realized that it is really that trauma that is intergenerational, that is from childhood, that is something that is coming from different elements of our learning, and learning is a very natural process to our growth. However, what is it that is fueling me? Is it my learning? Is it the lessons that I've taken that are fueling me? Or is it the trauma and the imprint of that trauma that is really deep? So we are going to be working on one of the issues, and of course, hopefully dealing with a fair bit of that trauma that you might have held or that your body, mind might have held at any level. However, there is a whole happiness habit module on trauma, which is currently ongoing, which is happening just now. And I think mom has recorded a voice note on one of the groups. If anyone who's not on that group wants to know more about it, I can forward it. You can just leave us a message. But the trauma module that is there, each of these happiness habit modules are very deep because every topic is covered from a generational, from a everyday perspective, from every possible perspective, and the releases are very deep as well. So if that is something you feel is majorly holding you back, I recommend you at least get to know more about it and figure if you wish to do that or no. Because your daily activities, your introspection, your releases, your meditations, everything's going to fuel that. Another common element that a lot of people mentioned was toxic relationships. Now, toxic relationships is somewhere wherein you know the environment is toxic for you. The environment is something that is demoralizing you, that is putting you lower and lower, that is eating you from within. Toxicity has many forms to it. Okay, however, that toxic relationship, for whatever reason, that the person is still in it, because it's always easier said than done that, oh, if something's not working, leave. Oh, if you're not feeling well, change your lifestyle. Oh, if this job isn't good for you, if it's stressing you out so much, if it's giving you so much burnout, change your job. If this person is so toxic for you, leave. Now, all these things are easier said than done. When we're talking about a lifestyle change, for example, it is something that's literally not a part of my 1 or 2 days where I will eat that junk food. You talk about a person getting a massive health issue and now they have to make lifestyle changes, which means they have to exercise every day, which means they have to cut down on their sugar, oily food, whatever. Those are the regularly the first few things that are started with. Of course, when they're labeling it a lifestyle shift, it means it's that important, but also means that the current lifestyle is something that is so different from it that it is a massive shift. Easier said than done. Oh, leave. The person is so bad for you, just leave. Easier said than done. There are reasons we keep ourselves in something toxic. We keep ourselves stuck. Oh, just change your job. Easier said than done. Today, we're looking at addressing some of those patterns that you all have shared with us. We're going to be using the words, the terminologies, whatever it is that your issue truly was. Sarika has asked, what if the trauma is caused on, excuse me, adulthood and not childhood? That is actually the reason we had to relabel it from releasing childhood trauma to just healing traumas, because a lot of times, you might have had a beautiful childhood, but there is a seed somewhere which is causing you to invite a lot of patterns in your adult life, or maybe post getting married, or maybe post a certain phase. Hence, we even, like, after giving the module out, changed the name to healing traumas to make it more inclusive of all the shifts that are there within. So it is very, very deep. There's going to be 108 chakra release that is there. There's going to be physical releases for all the trauma, as well as emotional and spiritual releases, as well as introspections. So that is something that you can understand better over there. All right, Amrita has raised her hand, but we're not addressing that just now. I want to
No,
quickly start you on with
sorry.
the re-release.
I just wanted to add on the trauma release healing sessions that we are having.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, I am a part of that group. And one thing which Richa didn't tell, it's so beautifully designed by them that not just this module, all the modules are so beautifully done. And not just that releases are there and everything, but the education, where all you are stuck, you can introspect, and maximum of the things are being done by you. So they are mentoring you like like you see the chota baby that this is one step, two step, three step. उसके बाद भी अगर आप work करना नहीं सीखते, then it is your problem, because उससे ज़्यादा dissected तरीके से how to live the life cannot be said. So just wanted to add that if you don't want to do the whole 12 months, but this particular topic is amazing, just 3 days gone, and I think you can always cover up on that also. I feel everyone must attend this. God bless you. Thank you so
Thank
much. I
you.
just wanted to add this.
Thank you. I mean, honestly, they're extremely deep. We're putting in so much effort between for these happiness habit modules. We're doing day-long shoots. We're preparing all the pointers, looking at something from every element, looking at, okay, what other data is there? What are the different aspects of it? What is it that we are also missing? Putting it through in slides so that it becomes in a very concise, simple, accessible manner, thinking about activities so that it doesn't just stay in your mind. There's a certain scope that how far we can go with these sessions, but there we have the scope for a lot more, because we have 21 days to address a topic completely. And it is actually the utmost compliment. I was not expecting this just now, but even otherwise, like, I have had some, like, people who've been inquiring for sessions. And then just now we were having a Black Friday offer. I asked them, listen, if you wanted to do it, you can do it now. The sessions at a better price and all. And she simply said, I mean, honestly, she had just finished her overthinking and fear of commitment modules. She said, after that, I don't even know, like, everything has just shifted. I don't know what problem I have anymore. I don't feel like I have that problem anymore, or any problem anymore. So I'd love to take a session. I don't know what I would take it for, because my thinking has shifted. We had renamed this from Daily Theta to Thursday Thought Clinic for the reason that we wanted to put in some thoughts in your mind. If you all remember, there was a phase where we had stopped downloads and everything, because the idea was to have certain introspection and thoughts happening, where we realized people are still at a point where the thought ka action nahi ho raha hai. So, which is why we have now, like, re-implemented the downloads element, the B element, all of those things. Kirti, you can message us on the clinic number, or we'll put the link on the group that is there, and y'all can access it from there. All right. And any questions you all have, you all can always get back to the clinic number and ask as to what is this, how is this, because It's pretty simple. So you can, Kirti, you can add yourself to the group. I think even in the previous session, we've given you out the number. So please just add the number, or even if you'll find us on social media, we are putting in a lot of effort to put in reels that are informative, that are quick, accessible information that are there for y'all. All of this goes on there. Now, because a lot of the crowd is mainly on WhatsApp, we're going to make an effort to put some of the reels from Instagram to WhatsApp just to have an access to that information. We made reels on trauma, which even if they're 60 seconds, 90 seconds, they will give you a pointer or two as to what you can do about it. We're making reels. We're doing a whole A to Z series. We've spoken about abundance. We're going to speak about baby in the womb. We're going to speak about different aspects that are there. If nothing, if y'all can't find our contact anywhere, I'm not sure where you joined the group from and how you found this link. You can just get on our Instagram also. I've put the number here on the chat, but you can get on our Instagram, look for Cesta Healing, or get on YouTube. Look, there will be a contact number. You can just contact it or leave a message there and we will get back to you. Okay. I want to quickly start with the releases that everyone has requested today. So just recapping in case there's anyone new that is joining, we're using the B technique, which is the balance emotional empowerment technique. We will be rubbing our karate chop because there are energy meridian points all along our body. However, the energy meridian points that are over here, as well as on your knee, are the energy meridian points for change. So we're going to be using those energy meridian points to tap on there and to allow the shifts to happen for ourselves. Recommended that you like, so please, keep doing this. If you're tired, you can shift your hands. It doesn't matter. You can do this hand, you can do, just tap it this way. You can rub it. You can, just circulate your hands around your. Okay. If your screens are on, I will be able to see your faces wherever required. If you can repeat it out loud as well. I will be incorporating all the points that you all had as concerns and also. All right. So if your eyes are closed, even better, just allow yourself to connect deeper. Now my voice is breaking. Is it better now? Because I did get the internet connection was unstable for like a minute and then now that sign is gone. All right. Okay, so let's begin. Although somewhere within my heart, when I think of my life, everything seems to be going a certain way. Everything seems to be going well when I look at it from the outside. When I look at it peripherally and look at everything that's happening, there's nothing major I feel like I have to complain for at times. I feel like I should be more grateful. However, there are many times that I realize that I end up getting triggered very quickly. There are a lot of things that trigger me extremely quickly. And when I am triggered, I seem to react very quickly. I realize that at that point, I feel unloved and abandoned. And somewhere deep within, it is a deep emotional feeling of feeling unloved, feeling abandoned. I'm not quite sure where the origins of these feelings are, whether it is from childhood, whether it is from the time I was in the womb, or even any other time. But I do realize in my current scenarios or other that feeling of feeling unloved and abandoned is there. And somewhere within me, there is a deep emotional sense where it embarrasses me even to feel this way. However, it is the truth of how I feel, and it is something I truly wish to change. There is somewhere a pattern sometimes also that I feel where I'm constantly going from feeling like a victim to victimizing. I don't know why, but sometimes I find myself in the seat of a victim, and sometimes I find myself victimizing another person. It's like I'm constantly swinging between the two, and there is a passive aggressive behavior, this passive aggressive streak within me, which is why I find myself in different scenarios, constantly going from either the victim mode where I feel like I'm victimized to going to a victimizing mode. I feel aggressive, I feel lost. Sometimes I feel really around others, and sometimes I feel completely lost and like I have no aim. I feel somewhere the acceptance is something that I am struggling with within my life. And all I really want to do is to heal and to feel that love towards everyone, to feel involved, to feel that love. Somewhere it is all stemming from that feeling of love. Anyone else? It's all stemming from the feeling of love. I just want to be able to choose one side and to be able to trust the universe in this process. That if I have a wound, I can rip it open and believe that it will heal, that the universe is by my side. I want to acknowledge what I feel, how I feel, and just let it go. I want to choose that rather than constantly live in the fear. I want to just flow and live in the now, but somewhere my mind is constantly twisting itself and getting me trapped in this brain candy itself, where I'm constantly just in the brain candy of what am I feeling? Am I the victim? Am I the victimizer? How am I feeling? And that is where my true passive aggressive behavior lies, where I am just allowing the brain candy to take over as opposed to any flow, any input from the universe, any acceptance that is there. It is that brain candy that is stopping me from having clarity and from seeing all the love that is around me, that keeps me in the feeling of feeling unloved and abandoned as well. Wherever this feeling may be stemming from, now I choose to truly move forward from it and to move towards better, to move towards a space where I know that the universe has my back. I still choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself and heal and integrate that part of me. Although at some points I don't know how to deal with toxic relationships. I'm not even sure of how I define toxic, because it is something that I am choosing to stay in and day out. There is somewhere when I am in that toxic relationship that there is, and I think about moving out of it. There are so many times that I feel extremely triggered, extremely helpless, like I am done with this, like I can't take this anymore, like I deserve better. But yet I find myself having a fear of moving forward. I'm not quite sure why I choose to stay stuck there. Because while the truth might be that the person around me or the person I'm in a relationship with might be toxic, it is still my choice. The universe operates on the module of free love and a free will. I have the option and the free will always to decide what is best for me and to take an action step in that direction. However, the closer it comes to an action step, in fact, even if simply someone comes and shows me that toxicity, shows me the mirror to that toxicity, it somewhere completely closes me up. Such an evident fear comes up, an anxiety, a feeling of just not knowing what is ahead comes up within myself. And somewhere that fear completely stops me in my tracks and either makes me romanticize that toxicity that I am in and keeps me there, or I allow myself to believe that this is my only truth and this is the reality and this is how it will stay. However, if I was accepting that truth, if I was truly accepting that reality, I may have been able to make the best of that reality. But I find myself again in a space of being the victim or the victimizer, where I'm unable to decide, unable to take a step forward in either direction. There is somewhere that comfort zone. When I think about what stops me from moving forward, from moving out of that toxicity, from speaking up against that toxicity, from taking a stand for myself and respecting myself, somewhere, no matter how toxic that relationship is, it still gives me a certain comfort zone. It's given me a certain lifestyle, it's given me a certain life that I have become used to, whether it is the house I stay in, whether it is the way I'm living, whether it is anything at all. However toxic or non-toxic it is, that is something that I have made into my reality, and somewhere consciously and subconsciously that is my comfort zone. And the minute there is a talk about moving out of that comfort zone, even though that is something I keep threatening the other person or myself with, my mind completely stops in its track and does not want to make that effort to change. My mind is scared of that change, of the uncertainty of what lies in the future, and that fear paralyzes me and keeps me in that toxic relationship. So the one end of it is the inability to change and to want to change, the fear of what may happen. However, the other part of me still struggles to even find acceptance and true acceptance of what is happening. That is where I am truly responsible for keeping myself stuck where I am. Because either we can decide that the situation we are in is toxic and move out of it, move ahead, or we accept that this is toxic, but this is something that I am choosing, because every day that I choose to stay in a toxic situation, I am making that choice, and I may have very, very valid reasons for making that choice, whether that may be my kids, whether that may be my financial situation, whether that may be anything at all. However, having that courage to accept that this is my choice to stay here. This is toxic, yes, but I choose to stay here for XYZ reasons. If I truly bring myself to that point of acceptance, I can bring myself to a point of learning how to make the best of the situation that I am in, how to truly work towards that point of acceptance, that point of love, that point of that relationship being something that is a positive and that is adding it to my life as opposed to subtracting, towards investing in that space that I choose to stay in. So even if a person chooses to stay in a completely toxic environment, maybe there's factories near their home, maybe there is lots of situations where they cannot move their homes away from that physically toxic environment. It is only with acceptance that one can take any steps towards changing it, because some scope of change, some level of change is in our hands, whether that is through placing air purifiers in that space, whether that is through putting green plants in that space. It is always our choice to be able to invest in it and make that space, make that relationship, make that surrounding we are in better. But that only comes from the place of acceptance. Until and unless I am in the space of being a victim and feeling like a victim, I am the only person jailing myself in this place where I am neither able to move one way nor the other, where I am constantly cribbing about the situation I am in. And no, that trauma that has happened once is something that I am making multifold by constantly repeating that to myself or others. Now I understand that that choice is within my hands. I look to how I can protect myself and forgive others, but even that comes from a space of blaming. Is where the journey begins, because I myself was learning about that situation. But it's only when we come to a place of acceptance that we can decide to either make that situation better if we choose to stay, or to move out of that situation. Now I choose to have the courage to be able to do that. I still choose to, deeply and completely, love and accept myself and heal and integrate that part of me. Although, when I think about the situation that I am in, when I think about the places in my life that I feel stuck, there are a couple of places because of that toxicity or otherwise that I feel completely stuck. I feel stagnancy. I feel like I don't know what to do or how to move ahead. That is something that has kept me in this place for so, so long. Somewhere when I think about the underlying issues and how I truly feel, when I take the time out to sit with how I'm really feeling, it is that feeling of hopelessness that I feel, the rage towards all that I was subjected to, the fear of taking any decision. And somewhere that is why I choose to remain stuck. I feel that it is easier to play that victim than to have the courage and the confidence to be able to move ahead and to face the risks of that uncertainty, of that instability. Because no matter how my current situation is, there is a certain stability in knowing, even if it is unstable. But when I think about moving out of that scenario, there is that confidence that is required within myself. And I find myself struggling with the confidence. I find myself, shy and struggling with the confidence. And which is why find myself constantly procrastinating the action steps I need to take, procrastinating the decisions that I need to make, procrastinating even the small and big tasks ahead in life, because procrastination is what keeps me safe. Procrastination is what helps me stay right where I am at. I can make 100 list. I can decide to do everything. I can intend to do every possible thing that will make my life better. But it is this very same procrastination which helps me stay right where I am at and keeps me comfortable. And hence, somewhere my mind keeps procrastinating. I find it difficult to speak up against wrongdoings in a calm and positive manner. There is something wrong that is happening, but somewhere, even when I think about speaking up, I know that I can feel the thoughts. I know that there is wrongdoing, but just in that instance, when I see myself reacting as opposed to interacting, I know there is wrongdoing, but I lose that battle completely. Because as soon as I am in that situation, I can't help myself and I simply snap. I either find myself subduing it completely or I just completely snap, knowing that the minute I have snapped, the minute I have reacted, as opposed to interacted and taken the weapon of being calmer in this situation, I am losing this battle. However, it is that lack of clarity, lack of conviction within myself as to whether I even take the time to trust myself, to respect myself. Because when we feel the conviction within our thoughts, when we feel the conviction within our being, and when we feel the conviction in what we are saying and who we are, automatically that thought comes out of a space of calm. Automatically that thought comes out in a neutral manner. We find ourselves shouting or reacting or responding in an aggressive manner when somewhere our defenses are triggered and our defenses come up. And when I have to speak up in these situations, even against the wrong that is happening to me, I find my defenses coming up, and that takes away all the leverage I may have had or ever can have. I find it difficult to speak about my needs confidently. I find it difficult. Somewhere I feel like I have been told so many times that when in spite of me speaking up against the wrongdoings, I'm taken completely for granted. And I don't know where I have allowed this pattern to begin in my life. But I'm speaking about the wrongdoings that are happening in the household, in life. And yet that I'm taken absolutely for granted. It is said that I don't even have brains, and somewhere that thing continuing within my life, that pattern continuing, is somewhere I have allowed my self respect to completely diminish. From being a person that is in conviction of who she is, of who they are, I have reached a place where of another person's words and another person using an aggressive tone or saying something that will trigger me, like, you have brains, or don't you understand, or putting me down is something that I am making subconsciously or subconsciously a self reflection, and which is why it hits so hard. But I don't know where along the process I lost my confidence, I lost my self respect. And as I lost it, I allowed other people to trample upon me. Maybe it is because I kept telling myself that if I want harmony in the house, if I want happiness in the family, then I must keep quiet. And somewhere that part of me that kept holding on to other things, that kept letting that frustration build within myself, in the name of seeking harmony and love in the family, in the name of doing it for my kids, I kept putting that imprint on my kids as well. And that harmony, that love that I keep saying, just kept building in me. All that resentment, all that anger, all that helplessness that I felt kept building in me. All that sorrow kept building in me till either one of two things have happened. Either I have completely lost my sense of self and self respect, which is why I don't even know how to stand up for myself now, or that buildup has been so much within my space and in my body that this is coming out as illness, or this is coming out as extreme bouts of frustration, anger, irritation in all my interactions, where even a small thing brings up a big reaction within me. But this is all of my body simply processing these things, all the buildup that there is. I still choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself and heal and integrate that part of me. Both hands on your chest, taking in 7 deep breaths or even more, breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your mouth. Breathing in positivity, joy, confidence, a connection to yourself and who you really are. Breathing out through your mouth. All that frustration, all that helplessness. Breathing in through your nose, your true sense of self. Knowing that it is safe to see who you really are. To have the courage to change. Breathing out through your mouth. All that fear that's holding you back. Breathing in through your nose, positivity, light. Breathing out through your mouth. All the heaviness, all the negativity. Doing a small and simple round of breath out, just putting your hands on your karate chop once again. Although I realize that I have allowed my own fears to paralyze me, I realize that I've allowed my situation to overwhelm me. I now choose to understand that my light is bigger than that, that change is the only constant in life. And so if I keep telling myself that I fear change, that I'm unsure of what will happen, so many times I have allowed the situation to push me to the end, for change to then happen in my life, for me to then be proactive and take action. I now choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself and heal and integrate that part of me. Although that anger, that irritation, that frustration, that helplessness feels like it is so much. But somewhere my mind, body, and soul realizes that this buildup is just eating me up from within. That every action of mine now not only has a reaction outwards, but inwards. I feel so trapped, I feel so jailed, and I feel so horrible for every time I find myself reacting. I feel like I'm not even in control of myself anymore. I feel so tired with all this toxicity that I am carrying around, but I also know and realize that it is my and only my choice to let that load go, to let it off, to know that if life can change in an instant for the negative, life can also change in an instant for the positive, and that is a choice only and only I can make. If it is my brain candy that is holding me back, that is keeping me held, it is my and only my choice to move beyond that brain candy, and I wish to make that choice today. I wish to make that choice now. I wish to let this go. I know and understand that if I am holding on to these excuses of wanting to maintain harmony, maintain calm for my children, somewhere I am seeing in my behavior also that all that frustration, anger, helplessness eventually is coming out on my children. Eventually, my children are observing all the negative that I'm choosing to hold. They are observing all the toxicity that is around, and they are taking in that toxicity. So it is almost like staying in a house that is around a polluting factory, knowing that it is toxic for me and feeling like, oh, at least this gives a sense of home to my children. They are used to this home. not realizing that that toxicity is something that they're inhaling with every breath, with everything that they are seeing, observing, and understanding. That it is only when I find that conviction and strength in myself that I can move forward. And that that conviction and strength is something that when you are put in the water, you will learn how to swim. That each of us knows eventually how to float, and only as I choose to trust myself and trust the universe a little bit, trust that the universe has my back and all it's asking for is my command as to what I wish, that I can truly learn how to float and swim towards the life I wish to create. I still choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself and heal and integrate that part of me. Although I may have situations where I choose to stay exactly where I am at. I may have my own reasons for staying in the job, for staying in the relationship, for staying in the lifestyle choices that I am currently in. However, even that act requires complete acceptance. That should I choose to stay in the situation that I am in currently, I choose now to wholly and completely accept that situation, accept myself for the person that I am, for the person that I have the strength to be, and accept the other person as well for who they are. Accept that we are different, accept the situation for what it is as opposed to what I wish to paint it to be, because it is only when I open my eyes and accept things for what they are that I can see how to make them better. I understand now that acceptance does not mean giving up and staying right where I am at. Acceptance means simply opening my eyes, seeing where I have reached so I can decide where I want to get. And as I choose to make my situation better, even if I choose to stay and decide that I wish to live a certain way for myself, I wish to have a certain level of respect, a certain level of love, I know that the universe can create that even within that situation, that the universe can completely transform things as soon as I'm ready to take my learnings. And I am ready to take my learnings now. I am ready to know that I'm worthy of love, that I am worthy, that I am loved. I am ready to see the love that is around me. Because no matter what or where I may be, I am loved. The universe loves me. The universe has me here for a reason, and I choose to embrace and accept that love now. I still choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself and heal and integrate that part of me. Both hands on your chest, taking in 7 deep breaths, breathing in positivity through your nose and breathing out all negativity through your mouth. Breathing in all the love that the universe has to offer you through your nose. Breathing out all the brain candy, all the excuses that your mind has given you to keep you right where you are at. Breathing in and embracing the true nature of the universe, the same universe you may have found yourself blaming from time to time. Breathing in the true nature of the universe, because that is to constantly evolve, to constantly change, and for things to be true to their nature. Breathing out everything that is keeping you from aligning to your true nature, to your strengths, to who you are, and to all that you can be. Breathing in the conviction, the knowing that you are powerful, that you're capable, that you are able. Breathing out any shackles that you yourself have tied yourself in. Just simply letting them go. Breathe out through your mouth and let all of that helplessness, that anger, that frustration that you have kept in the name of justice, Because if I hold on to this rage, I'm going to remember that I want justice for this situation. I'm going to remember to keep my guard up. But all that's happening is that this toxicity, this rage, this frustration is eating you up from within. So taking a deep breath out through your mouth, just and letting all of that out. You can do that as many times as required, just breathing in positively and breathing out. Let go of all the shackles that you yourself are holding yourself from. And as you're connecting with your breath, as you're connecting through every part of yourself, every layer within you, simply allow vacuum cleaner coming in from the universe. This vacuum cleaner that's going to simply clean out anything that is not serving you, any of that frustration, rage, anything you choose to let go of. It's going to simply go into the universe and transmute into the energy of love. See this vacuum cleaner simply taking out any of those stubborn patterns, that fear, that resentment, that rage, whether that resentment is towards another person, yourself, your situations, the cards that you were dealt, your childhood, anything at all. See this vacuum cleaner simply clearing it all. Letting all of those things go, because it's only when you're going to let the garbage go that you're going to have space for anything new, space for anything productive within your life. And as that vacuum cleaner cleans off everything redundant, see yourself and visualize yourself under a shower of cleansing rain. That cleansing rain simply cleaning off any residue. It's like coming back home from a tiring day. And any of that residue that is there of that day, of that exhaustion, of that whole process simply getting cleaned off. And as that water goes out through the drain, all of that going out, clearing you, energizing yourself with a shower of golden light now. Through the love and energy of the universe and through these downloads, would you like to know that I know and understand the creator of all that is his definition and perspective of myself, of my self-worth and my self-respect, that I know what it feels like, how to, when to, that it is safe and possible for me to truly connect to who I am, to all my strengths, to all my weaknesses, to be able to be at a point of seeing my strengths and weaknesses, accepting myself wholly and completely for who I am, to know that I'm worthy of love, to know that I'm worthy of respect, to know that I choose to respect myself, respect my priorities, respect my goals, to connect to myself, to be able to know what goals I have within my life as well, to know that I'm worthy and that I deserve respect, that I deserve self-worth, that I allow myself to incorporate that within my daily life now, that I know what it feels like, how to, when to, and that it is safe and possible for me to know and implement the creator of all that is his definition and perspective of acceptance, and to have that acceptance within myself, acceptance towards myself, acceptance towards the people in my life, acceptance of the situations I am in, to accept wholly and completely, to know and understand that acceptance is the only way that I can truly shift my life, and to know and understand the true nature of being and the true nature of the universe, to align with the universe and to understand that we're all universal beings and that the universal laws apply to us all, and that the law of free will is such a significant one from all of it. To know and understand that I always have free will, to know and understand that it is safe for me to trust the universe, to allow myself to trust the universe, to allow myself to trust my own instincts, to allow myself to trust those around me, and to build a supportive network around me, to trust my life and to trust my capabilities, that I allow myself to allow this trust to be what fuels my life. I allow myself to live my daily life with trusting myself, trusting the universe, and having trustworthy people around me, that I allow myself to reignite the confidence and sense of self within myself, to know and understand that I am loved, that I am worthy, that I allow myself to know and understand just how much love the universe has for me. And as I Allow myself to receive that love from the universe. I see just how loved and worthy I am. I know what it feels like to feel loved and worthy, and to make those around me feel loved and worthy, to let myself know that I'm important, and to let those around me feel important as well, to know and understand the creator of the all that is his definition and perspective of interaction, and knowing what it feels like, how to when to, and that it is safe and possible for me to interact calmly, joyously, and with balance and discernment in every situation, allowing myself to have the patience to do so, releasing any fear in me that keeps my defenses from constantly popping up, trusting myself and trusting that change is inevitable, and that I choose to make changes towards positive things in my life now, that I choose to respect myself, that I choose to know and understand that it is only when there is harmony and respect within my own being that I can truly have that and give that to anyone around me, that I allow myself to feel that now, and that I allow myself to know that it is safe and possible for me to take action steps and move forward in life, move ahead in life as is required, trusting myself, loving myself, accepting myself. Also, knowing and understanding the creator of all that is his definition and perspective of forgiveness. That I know and understand that every situation in life is here to teach us certain things. That now I choose to release the trauma of the past, that I choose to release the situations of the past and to simply take the learnings from the same and move forward in my life. That I know and understand that everything was a learning curve for me as well. And that I allow myself now to forgive those that hurt me, to forgive those situations, to forgive those people, to forgive God, and to forgive myself mostly, to forgive myself wholeheartedly now for being unable to take a stand at that point, to release any resentment and regrets I'm holding towards my situations, towards myself now, as I completely envelop those with the feeling of forgiveness, that I choose to forgive wholly and completely myself and those around me, that I allow myself to have forgiveness and to live my daily life with this forgiveness now. Would you each like these downloads into every cell, atom, molecule of your body, every area of your life, at all four levels of your belief systems, and in any and every language ever known or understood by you, for your highest and best, and in your highest and best manner? Simply affirm yes to receive the downloads. And as you say yes, simply allow yourself to visualize these downloads coming in as a beautiful, pearly, iridescent light entering your system like a beautiful waterfall that's entering with all that light, with all these feelings, embracing them with open arms. Because it is only when you're ready to receive that love, ready to receive that forgiveness, that acceptance for yourself, for everything that there is, that you can see the light within it. Let this light permeate within every cell, every part of your being, every area of your life. May that be from earlier in this lifetime or even other lifetimes. Knowing and choosing to live in the now, and knowing and understanding that in the now as well, you have the power to completely transform your life. That simply with that acceptance, you can find that strength within your being. I want you to accept these downloads, receive them to the best that you can. And as you do, simply see the strength within you rising. The power that is you, knowing that the universe has your back. Simply looking all around you, feeling your own energies, looking all around you at the situations, at the people around you, and saying out loud in that space, I forgive, I accept, I choose to live and create an abundant and happy life for myself now. I am in charge of my happiness. I create joy for my life. And simply see yourself walking outwards and radiating that light out and all around you. Because it is with the power of intention, thought, and witnessing that we can create change. And we do. Simply allow yourself to feel, absorb each of these things, to witness that change in whatever way you need to. Feeling that light within yourself and all around you. And whenever you feel ready, with a big smile in your face, with empowerment in your stride, you make those of you that have your camera on, I'm just waiting for you all to come back. And I hope that this release has been a deep one for you. Any of you that feel the need to do it again, maybe it went too fast for you or anything of that sort, please just go back to the videos. We've kept everything there free. Even are there present right in those videos. Please make the most of it. It's there just only for you. We'll share the link on the group as well, but everything begins from acceptance. Even when we're stuck, even when we feel like it's so toxic, even when you're the victim, even when you're the victimizer, no matter what it is. That free will is an inbuilt law of the universe. Even when we're teaching people theta, we tell them you can do everything, but there is free will. You can't simply shift things without another person's free will. So access your own free will. And through that acceptance, allow change. Yes, Pradnya.
So, Richa, thank you so much for such an amazing releases. So, to share with you, I'm doing shadow work on myself, and whatever we work today, it is so much in alignment and resonance with what I was doing. And I felt like this was absolutely needed and required in order to push me forward, in order to embrace my dark sides or shadow aspect of mine. And it means a lot.
You know,
Immense gratitude.
you're most welcome. I'll tell you one of those things, you guys, before we wrap up, right? I mean, I look at my kid and I remember we were walking and suddenly at night, when we were doing certain, like, just going to sleep, and if there was a phone light on and he was seeing shadows and he was suddenly so scared of those shadows. And he's like, no, no, don't put the light off. I don't want shadow. I don't want shadow. And I remember then when we were walking one day, I was simply showing him his own shadow. And while shadow work and all of that is a completely different aspect and element, things that we perceive as negative as well, whether it is in another person, whether it is in ourselves, most times it's because in ourselves we can't see that quality as well, right? Even in another person, we see that, but we simply cannot accept it. How do we even get into something toxic? Something is there, we see it, but we choose to believe otherwise. We choose to see our situation differently from what it is. When you see a shadow, it's simply an extension of yourself. And we can bring ourselves to that point of acceptance. Because fear keeps us running. Feeling like a victim keeps us jailed. In either situation, if I'm feeling stuck or I'm constantly running, I can't find peace. That peace comes only and only from acceptance. And sometimes, even if a situation is that where, okay, I'm this horrible, but I'm not going to be able to run out of this. I'm going to be staying right here. There too, that acceptance is required. Not, oh, this person is horrible and I accept that. If you truly accept that, then you choose to live with the horrible person, make the best of it. But some part of us is always in that plausible deniability, which is why it's difficult to change it. Something I cannot see, something I cannot accept, I cannot change. And change is an integral part of the universe. Nature is made such that everything, if it accepts its true nature, is complementary to one another. But if something is going against its nature, if I'm walking against the tide of water, if I want to go against the clock of time, that's when I have a problem. But if we can accept that a flower accepts that I'm going to live for a few days, I'm going to go, then I'm going to die. Doesn't feel sad for dying. If we simply accept and embrace ourselves, maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to see our strengths too. Because we are quite aware of our weaknesses, but we have a multitude of strengths and positive things that we have, which we feel like, I'm looking at, but we don't even allow ourselves to see, because that's where that feeling of not belonging, not feeling loved, not feeling respected, feeling so hurt when someone talks to us a certain way comes in. Because I can't even see that for myself. I can't see what is lovable within me, what is respectable within me. So start even with the small things. What is lovable within you? Loving yourself, respecting yourself. Acceptance is a big word and we'll all get there, but the small action steps help. And I hope these releases have helped with the same. The downloads have helped with the same. We'll share a link on the group as well for the session, because one, two people said they don't know how to navigate it and find it. We'll share that as well. And I feel like everything is just divinely orchestrated and guided. We were thinking last evening of what session to do and all of that. Even thought of a session, and then out of nowhere, she's making this. I'm like, you know what? Let's do a personal, let's do a B session. So that whatever everyone's concerns are, let's work on that. And everyone posted from their own thoughts, their own mind situations they were in. But I mean, if you look at this, I have everyone's issues, and most of those are intertied. We tell you all, send us your concern. We also have the time to make sure that that release happens for everyone. It always divinely orchestrates for the people that are meant to be there. And I'm happy that it's reaching each of you and everyone that needs it. Have a beautiful week. Take the time to do the releases, to do whatever it is
I
that you
want
do.
to say something. Do you have time? Can I?
I don't know who is talking.
This is Seema Shah.
It depends. We actually are short of time, but because there's you, then there's Beena's also raised her hand. So I'm going to wrap it up. Whatever you all have to say, you all can say on the group, because then it's just going to be one person after another. And it's been an hour. So just the group link, Kirti, is, or just message the number I've sent to you and you'll have it. Please message on the group and we'll take it from there, or message us personally. Okay? I just want to wrap it up on this note. Have a great week and see you next week.